Most retirees come to my office worried they're going to overspend in retirement, and yet statistically, many retirees actually underspend, and sometimes by a lot. So today we're talking about retirement spending by age, and specifically 5 strategies to help you enjoy more with confidence without relying on unrealistic rules or flat spending assumptions. I'm Dustin Rudolph, owner and president at Legacy Ascent Wealth. Our goal is to help you optimize your spending so you can create meaningful memories and live your legacy, not tiptoe through retirement afraid to spend your money. In episode 3, we talked about guardrails, how to adjust spending based off of market results. And today we're going to add in a missing layer, how spending naturally changes as you age. Strategy 1, understanding the retirement spending smile. Research, most notably from David Blanchett, shows that retirees don't spend in a straight line. Spending tends to be higher early in retirement, gradually declines over time, and then in the last few years, shifts up due to healthcare and support. It literally looks like a smile. Hopefully not as lopsided as mine, but in the early years, it's high. Travel, experiences, hobbies. During the middle years, you get a slower pace, more routine. Later years, fewer vacations, but more doctor's appointments. What's important here is that real retirees don't live in flat spending lives, so flat withdrawal assumptions don't match reality. Strategy 2, pair guardrails with age-based spending. This is where we connect back to episode 3. Guardrails tell you when you should adjust based off of portfolio performance. Age-based spending tells you how spending naturally evolves based off of your stage of life. Think of it this way. Guardrails are the rumble strips on the highway. Age-based spending is GPS saying, hey, we don't need to drive 75 forever. We're coming into town now. Guardrails protect you from emotional decisions. Age-based spending keeps your plan realistic. Third strategy, spend confidently in the go-go years. The go-go years are when retirees are the most active physically, socially, and emotionally. Travel, experiences, grandkids, hobbies. This is when meaningful memories are created, and your plan should reflect that. I saw this firsthand with my grandparents. Once they retired, they bought a boat. They purchased a condo in Fort Myers, Florida. They traveled. They brought family along the way. And then naturally, as they aged, they traveled less. And when my grandma got sick, they stopped traveling altogether to get her the care that they needed. They simplified. Their spending followed their lifestyle. Strategy 4, prepare for slow go and no-go shifts. As retirees move into their late 70s and 80s, spending patterns shift again. Travel slows down, lifestyle spending declines, often by about 1% in real terms. We're going to look at this in a little bit. And healthcare and support costs gradually become a larger focus. At 65, you're asking, what's the next trip we should take? At 85, you're asking, why does the remote control have so many buttons? A good plan anticipates these changes instead of pretending every year looks the same. Strategy 5, coordinate your taxes with your age and stage in life. Your spending strategy and your tax strategy are deeply connected. Early retirement years often create planning opportunities such as Roth conversions. Mid-retirement years require managing bracket creep and managing required minimum distributions. Later years often involve healthcare deductions and legacy planning. When spending is aligned with age, taxes can often be managed more intentionally, which supports confidence, flexibility, and clarity. Let's bring this together with our 2 previous income strategies. We have a 68-year-old couple who are retired, living off their $1.5 million portfolio. Now, using the popular 4% rule, they would be able to take $60,000 out for retirement. However, if we switch to the flexibility of the guardrail approach, our income planning software, Income Laboratory, the income increases significantly. As you can see, we're able to increase that from $60,000 in this scenario all the way up to nearly $88,000 with predetermined guardrails that says if their portfolio drops to around $1 million, they're going to need to take a pay cut. And if it increases to just over $2 million, they can get a significant increase as well. However, if we integrate the strategic portfolio approach with the same diversified concept, but has specific assets dedicated to only funding income while the others are only dedicated for growth, our income increases even further. Now look happens when we go to the age-based approach. We are able to increase the income even further for when you are most likely to spend the most. As you can see in this plan, we start off with the most amount of income right away at retirement. It decreases by 1% per year. And then the last 3 years, we're increasing it by 10%. Now, this smile is definitely lopsided. However, we can adjust the pivot point based off of each client's expected longevity, health history, you name it. As you can see, you have money for more travel during the go-go years, less lifestyle spending later on, and more flexibility for healthcare when needed. The portfolio is optimized for income when you're actually going to use it. Here are the 5 takeaways to remember. 1. Spending naturally changes as you age. Plan accordingly. 2. Guardrails manage risk. Age-based spending reflects real life. 3. Your go-go years are your memory-building years. 4. Later years shift towards care, not vacations. And 5. Coordinating spending and taxes creates confidence. If you're unsure whether your spending actually matches your age and stage of life, this is exactly what we help our retirees evaluate. At Legacy Ascent Wealth, our mission is simple: help you optimize your spending so you can create meaningful memories and deliver your legacy. Thanks for joining me on Summit Ascent Retirement. We'll see you next time.